Hello everybody. If you want to read all the stories in full, please go to www.steveuk.blog. Thank you. Short Story 634, The Memory Weaver. Intermediate. In 2089, the city of Lumin glowed under a dome of shimmering light. The dome protected its people from the toxic air outside. Inside, life was perfect, or so it seemed. People wore sleek silver suits and their minds were linked to a network called the Grid. The Grid stored memories, shared knowledge, and kept everyone happy. But it came at a cost. No one could keep secrets. Kevin, a young technician with messy red hair and curious eyes, worked at the Grid's core. His job was to fix memory glitches, times when people's thoughts got jumbled or lost. He loved his work, but lately something felt wrong. People were forgetting things they shouldn't, like their names or families. One night, while repairing a memory node, Kevin found something strange. A hidden file labelled The Weaver. It wasn't part of the Grid's code. Curious, he opened it. A hologram appeared, a woman with glowing eyes. "Help me," she whispered. "They're erasing us." Before Kevin could ask questions, the hologram vanished. Alarms rang out. Guards in black armour stormed the room. "You've seen too much," one growled, grabbing Kevin's arm. Kevin twisted free and ran through Lumin's neon streets. He hid in an old storage bay, his heart pounding. Who was the woman? And who were they? Using a stolen device, Kevin hacked into the Grid. He found more hidden files. They told the story of the Weaver, a scientist who created the Grid decades ago. She discovered the leaders of Lumin were using it to control people, erasing memories to stop rebellion. The Weaver tried to fight back but was caught. Her mind was trapped inside the Grid. Kevin knew he had to act. He sneaked into the Grid's central tower where the main server hummed. Guards patrolled, but Kevin was quick and quiet. He plugged his device into the server and uploaded a virus he'd written. It would free the Weaver's mind and shut down the Grid's control systems. The server sparked. Lights flickered across Lumin. People gasped as forgotten memories flooded back. Families, dreams, truths. Chaos erupted as citizens realized they'd been controlled. The Weaver's hologram appeared again. "Thank you, Kevin," she said. "You've given us freedom." Her image faded, her mind finally at peace. The dome's light dimmed as the Grid shut down. For the first time in years, people saw the real sky, cloudy but beautiful. The toxic air was still a problem, but Kevin felt hope. Without the Grid's lies, they could rebuild. Kevin walked through the streets, now filled with people talking, crying, and laughing. They were free to think, to remember, to live. He smiled, knowing he'd changed everything. Vocabulary notes. Glitch, noun. Meaning, a sudden, usually temporary malfunction or fault in a system, especially in technology. Use in story refers to problems in the Grid where people's memories get jumbled or lost, which Kevin is tasked with fixing. Example, his job was to fix memory glitches, times when people's thoughts got jumbled or lost. New example sentence, the computer game froze because of a glitch in the software. Similar words, bug, a small error in a program or system. E.g., the app crashed due to a bug in the code. Fault, a defect or problem in a system. e.g., the machine stopped because of a fault in the wiring. Error, a mistake in a system or process, e.g., an error in the database caused the wrong data to appear. Jumbled, adjective, past participle of the verb jumble. Meaning, mixed up in a confused or disordered way. Use in story describes the state of people's thoughts or memories when affected by glitches in the grid. Example, his job was to fix memory glitches, times when people's thoughts got jumbled or lost. New example sentence, her notes were so jumbled that she couldn't find the information she needed for the presentation. Similar words, confused, mixed up or unclear, e.g., his explanation was so confused that no one understood. Disordered, not arranged properly, e.g., the books on the shelf were disordered after the move. Messy, untidy or disorganized, e.g., the messy pile of papers made it hard to work. Hologram, noun, meaning a three-dimensional image created by light, often appearing lifelike but not physically solid. Use in story, the weaver appears as a hologram to communicate with Kevin, indicating her trapped presence in the grid. Example, a hologram appeared, a woman with glowing eyes. New example sentence, the museum used a hologram to show a virtual tour guide explaining the exhibits. Similar words, projection, an image projected onto a surface or into space, e.g., the projection of the movie filled the screen. Image, a visual representation, e.g., the computer displayed an image of the galaxy. Illusion, something that appears real but isn't, e.g., the magician created an illusion of a floating ball. Rebellion, noun, meaning an act of resisting or fighting against authority or control. Use in story, the weaver discovered that the leaders were erasing memories to prevent rebellion against their control. Example, she discovered the leaders of Lumin were using it to control people, erasing memories to stop rebellion. New example sentence, the citizens planned a rebellion to overthrow the unfair government. Similar words, revolt, a violent uprising against authority, e.g., the farmers started a revolt against high taxes. Uprising, a group action to oppose authority, e.g., the uprising in the city demanded better living conditions. Resistance, opposition to control or authority, e.g., the resistance movement worked secretly to free the prisoners. Flickered, verb, past tense, meaning to shine or burn unsteadily, quickly switching on and off, can also describe brief or wavering movement. Use in story describes the lights in Lumin reacting to the grid shutting down, showing the instability of the system. Example, lights flickered across Lumin. New example sentence, the candle flickered in the wind before going out completely. Similar words, flashed, to shine briefly and suddenly, e.g., lightning flashed across the stormy sky. Glimmered, to shine faintly with a wavering light, e.g., the stars glimmered in the clear night sky. Twinkled, to shine with a sparkling or intermittent light, e.g., her eyes twinkled with excitement. Story written by Grok AI. Image created by Grok AI. To read all the stories in full, please go to www.steveuk.blog. Thank you.
Okay, let's unpack this. Imagine a future where, every moment of your life is just seamless, every need anticipated, every connection instantaneous.
Sounds pretty good, right? Like paradise.
Exactly. But what if that very system, the one designed to bring all this happiness and order, was also quietly curating your reality, stealing your deepest truths, maybe one memory at a time?
That's the hook.
Yeah. Today, we're embarking on a deep dive into a really fascinating short story called The Memory Weaver.
And what grabs you right away is the central tension. The story presents us with this dazzlingly utopian society, the city of Lumin, set in 2089.
Right.
It's this place glistening under a protective dome like a sanctuary. But, and it's a big but, this ideal comes with this unspoken, pretty profound trade-off. Complete transparency.
No secrets.
None. The very idea doesn't really exist there. So our mission today is to explore the hidden costs, sometimes, well, insidious costs of a system like that, and what happens when just one person dares to remember.
And as we, peel back the layers of this story, we'll journey through Lumin, we'll explore the intricate grid that governs its citizens' minds.
Which is key.
Absolutely. And follow the extraordinary path of Kevin. He's a young technician whose curious eyes lead him straight into a conspiracy that could basically unravel everything. So get ready for some startling insights into the power of memory, the fight for, well, authentic freedom, and what it really means to be well-informed in a world that's meticulously controlled.
Sounds great.
So our story opens, year 2089, city of Lumin, and visually it sounds stunning, glowing under this huge dome of shimmering light.
Protecting people from the toxic air outside, right?
Exactly. But the dome isn't just about protection. It feels like a symbol, too, of this perfectly insulated, perfectly controlled existence.
Yeah.
Inside, life was, presented as perfect, a beautifully curated reality. Citizens in sleek silver suits, everything harmonized, efficient, and maybe most importantly, happy. Or seemingly happy.
And zooming out a bit, this apparent perfection is, well, it's entirely engineered. It's all powered by this central technology called the grid.
Agreed.
Yeah, and this isn't just some advanced internet. It's described as this expansive network, intricately linked to everyone's minds, almost like an extension of your consciousness.
Wow.
Its functions are really comprehensive. It stores every memory, shares collective knowledge across everyone, and crucially, it's actively managing things to keep everyone happy.
Managing happiness.
Right, which makes the grid sort of the ultimate form of societal control, but it's brilliantly masked as collective well-being, It's a system designed for a frictionless existence, designed to get rid of conflict, confusion, discomfort, but it does that at this undeniable and, I think, profound personal cost.
And that cost, like the story just lays it bare, is that nobody could keep secrets.
Zero secrets.
Think about that for a second. A world where every thought, every memory, every experience isn't just like potentially accessible, but openly shared, maybe even edited.
Yeah, edited is the scary part.
What does that really mean for being an individual? For your personal identity? We sort of take our private inner lives for granted, don't we?
Totally.
But in Lumin, that whole concept is just fundamentally erased. How can you have real trust or genuine love if there's no space for vulnerability or just the unknown between people? It's a powerful and pretty chilling idea.
It really is.
Which brings us to our main guy, Kevin. The story introduces him as a young technician with messy red hair and curious eyes.
Those details feel important, don't they?
Yeah, like they hint at someone who maybe doesn't quite fit into this sleek, ordered world.
A bit of an outlier.
Right. He works right at the core of the grid. His job, fixing what they call memory glitches.
Ah, the glitches.
These moments where people's thoughts got jumbled or lost. He apparently loved his work, but lately something just felt deeply off.
And what's really insightful about that term glitch is how it normalizes something huge, right? The story frames memory loss, confusion as just a technical bug. But these weren't just computer errors. They were signs the grid was actively erasing and manipulating identity.
Yeah.
And that's a crucial point, I think. It shows how language itself can be weaponized, to mask something sinister, reducing this crisis of self to just a simple, fixable malfunction.
Definitely.
When people forgetting their own names, their families, is just called a glitch, it really dehumanizes the impact of the system, doesn't it?
It does. Makes it sound like a minor inconvenience.
Exactly, instead of a fundamental violation of who they are.
Chilling. So it goes from a minor system error to, like you said, a full-blown identity crisis. And Kevin notices these aren't just a few forgotten details anymore.
Right, it's escalating.
People are forgetting things they absolutely shouldn't. Their own names, the faces of their families. This isn't just a technical glitch anymore. It's clearly a societal crisis. Something far more sinister is lurking under Lumin's shiny, perfect surface.
The mask is slipping.
Yeah, the illusion was definitely starting to fray at the edges. And Kevin, because of his job, was sort of uniquely positioned to see it.
He's right there at the source.
So the story really shifts gear one night. Kevin's doing his usual rounds, diligently repairing a memory node.
Just another day at the office?
Kind of. But amidst all the organized chaos inside the grid, he stumbles onto something totally out of place, something strange, hidden. A file labeled The Weaver.
Ooh, mysterious.
Totally. This wasn't part of the official code. It was like a digital ghost in the machine. A rogue element in this system that's supposed to be about absolute control.
And his curiosity gets the better of him, I assume.
Naturally. That curiosity the story mentioned, he opens it. And then this truly mysterious figure just materializes in front of him. A hologram appears.
A hologram.
Yeah, a woman with glowing eyes. And her plea is urgent. It echoes right into Kevin. "Help me," she whispers. "They're erasing us."
Wow. Imagine that moment. The shock.
Total shock. The immediate understanding that everything he thought he knew about Lumin, about the grid, was basically a lie.
And the Weaver communicating as a hologram, that's not just a cool sci-fi visual, is it? It feels really symbolic.
How so?
Well, like the story describes, a hologram is this 3D image made of light. It looks real, but it's not solid. She's just a projection.
Right. Not physically there.
Exactly. Disembodied, trapped inside the very system she seems connected to. It really underlines this profound loss of physical agency, the desperate, almost ethereal nature of her plea from inside the machine.
Like a ghost of the past.
Yeah, literally a ghost of the past trying to haunt the present. It shows the ultimate kind of imprisonment, a mind held captive by its own creation, maybe.
That's heavy. But before Kevin can even process this, ask a single question.
It vanishes.
Poof. The hologram vanishes as quickly as it appeared. And that's when all hell breaks loose. Alarms start blaring, shattering that fake serenity of Lumin.
System knows.
Oh, yeah. Guards in black armor storm the room, and one of them just growls, "You've seen too much," and grabs Kevin's arm. A really sudden, brutal wake-up call from Lumin's comfy illusion.
So he has to run.
He does. Fueled by adrenaline, needing answers, he twists free. He sprints through Lumin's neon streets, this lone figure against this huge, oppressive system.
Where does he go?
Finds temporary refuge in an old storage bay. Heart pounding, mind racing. Who was this woman? Who are they, the ones erasing people? Suddenly, the weight of this secret, the fate of the whole city, it's all on his shoulders.
Which raises a really important question for any society, I think. What kind of system has to actively suppress its past, rewrite history, erase memories just to maintain its present?
Yeah, what does that say?
Kevin's next moves give us the pretty devastating answer. He uses a stolen device, hacks deeper into the grid.
Not to fix it this time.
No, not to fix it, but to uncover its secrets, like a kind of digital archaeology. And what he finds are more hidden files. And these files, they paint this awful picture.
The whole story.
The full story of the Weaver. Turns out, she was the brilliant scientist who actually created the grid decades ago.
Oh, wow, the creator.
Yeah, but she discovered Lumin's leaders were corrupting her invention, using it to control people by systematically erasing memories. Why? To prevent any kind of rebellion or dissent.
Of course.
Control. She tried to fight back, but she got caught. And her own mind was tragically trapped inside the very grid she designed.
That is dark. Trapped in her own creation. And that word rebellion, it really hits hard there, doesn't it? It perfectly captures what she was trying to do and what the leaders were so desperate to stop.
Absolutely. The term rebellion is crucial because it highlights the psychological warfare going on.
Yeah.
It's an act of resisting, fighting against authority, against control. And the leaders, they understood that memory is power.
The power of knowing your history.
Exactly. Collective history, shared grievances, personal identity, the ability to even imagine something different. To control the population, they had to control their past and their very sense of self.
So erasing memories was the key.
It was their ultimate tool. to prevent any uprising, any revolt, any resistance. Without memory, you can't have collective history, no shared reasons to complain, and crucially, no real motivation to challenge the status quo.
It's the ultimate way to keep people passive.
Exactly. Achieved not through, obvious force, but through this insidious manipulation of the mind itself.
So Kevin knows all this now. He can't just stand by.
No way. He gets it. The fate of Lumin, the authentic memory of its people, it's kind of on him now.
So with this resolve and using his insider knowledge,
His technician skills.
right, he sneaks into the grid's central tower, this huge building where the main server hums with all that power, all that control. Guards are patrolling, but Kevin, he's quick, quiet, moves like a shadow right into the heart of the beast.
What's his plan?
It's audacious. A digital declaration of war, really. He plugs his stolen device into the server, uploads this virus he's written.
A virus? Risky.
Very. But it's designed with two specific goals. Free the Weaver's trapped mind, and in doing that, shut down the grid's oppressive control systems.
Wow. All or nothing.
Totally. It threatens to expose every single lie Lumin was built on.
And what happens? Is it dramatic?
Oh, yeah. The reaction is immediate, visceral. The server sparks like it's screaming in protest, and then lights flickered across Lumin.
Flickered. That's evocative.
Isn't it? It's not just a power outage. It feels like the physical manifestation of the system collapsing, the lie being exposed right there in real time.
Yeah, the flickering isn't just unstable light. It's like a symbol of that instability. The truth breaking through the cracks, the perfect illusion finally crumbling.
It's the moment of breakdown, but also liberation.
Maximum potential for liberation, yeah.
And the impact on the people. Instantaneous, overwhelming. People gasp as forgotten memories just flood back.
All at once.
Seems like it. Vivid memories of families, lost dreams, hard truths about their past, about the city. Chaos erupts. But maybe a necessary chaos.
A cathartic chaos, perhaps.
Yeah. As citizens finally realize they've been manipulated, controlled for decades, imagine that flood of information, the trauma of suddenly remembering, but also maybe this incredible surge of real emotion washing over them.
A whole city reborn in a moment of just raw, unvarnished truth.
And in that moment, the Weaver's hologram appears again. But now she's bathed in this softer, more peaceful light.
Her final appearance.
Yeah. She gives this heartfelt, "Thank you, Kevin, you've given us freedom." And then her image gently fades. Her mind finally at peace, released from that digital prison.
It symbolizes more than just her freedom, though. It feels like a liberation of truth itself. The end of that long, silent war against forgetting.
Her last words aren't just thanks, are they? It's like passing the torch.
Exactly. The fight for freedom is now in the hands of the people. They remember.
So the grid finally shuts down, the dome's light dims, loses that shimmering fake look, and for the first time in years, the people of Lumin see the real sky.
What's it like?
Cloudy, maybe hinting at challenges still ahead, but undeniably beautiful and, crucially, real. The story mentions the toxic air outside is still a problem.
Right. Freedom doesn't magically fix everything.
No, it's a stark reminder. But Kevin, looking up at that actual sky, feels something powerful. Hope. Hope for a future built on truth, no matter how hard that might be.
And that raises another important point, doesn't it? Freedom doesn't automatically solve all the problems. The toxic air is still there. A real physical challenge.
Yeah, reality bites.
But now, without the grid's lies, without the manipulated memories, they can finally face those problems. They can rebuild, but on a foundation of truth and agency.
They get to choose how to deal with it.
Exactly. It highlights that real progress often starts not by getting rid of problems instantly, but by confronting the difficult realities instead of living in some manufactured bubble. They have their memories back, their agency back. They can face the future together with open eyes. No more lies.
And Kevin, our quiet hero, walks through the streets, but now, instead of silent, uniformed citizens.
It's definitely
Completely different. The streets are filled with people talking, crying, tears of remembrance, grief maybe, but also laughing with real joy. They're finally free. Free to think, to remember, to actually live as authentic individuals.
And he knows he did that.
He smiles,
Yeah.
knowing he changed everything. Not just for the Weaver, but for a whole city that's rediscovering its soul.
So Kevin's actions, they didn't just free one trapped mind, they reawakened an entire city to its true past, its true self.
He basically traded that engineered false perfection for the messy, vibrant, sometimes painful, but ultimately genuine reality of freedom.
Which is a powerful statement about what we prioritize, right? Comfort and control, or truth and authenticity, even with all the difficulties that come with it.
Definitely makes you think.
And if we connect this to the bigger picture, the Memory Weaver really pushes us to think critically about our own reliance on systems that promise convenience or curated experiences, or even just connection.
Like our own tech.
Exactly. It asks us to consider what truths we might maybe inadvertently be allowing to get jumbled or lost, to use the story's words, in the name of comfort or efficiency or just conforming in our own digital lives.
Are we really remembering, or are we kind of being subtly steered, sanitized maybe?
It's a potent reminder, I think, to constantly question the information we get, the narratives we accept as true.
The story really celebrates the resilience of human memory, doesn't it? And that fundamental right to know our own history, personal and collective. It reminds us that sometimes the most important glitches aren't the technical ones, but those moments of, doubt, that cognitive dissonance that forces us to question things.
To dig deeper.
Yeah, to reclaim our own narratives before someone else rewrites them for us.
Well said.
What a journey through Lumin. From that shimmering facade to the chaos, and then the ultimate hard-won freedom brought by one curious technician. The Memory Weaver just beautifully illustrates that constant tension, that push and pull between control and consciousness.
And the enduring power of truth.
Yeah, the power of truth when it finally gets a chance to surface.
And the story really leaves us with a profound, maybe even unsettling question for ourselves, doesn't it?
What's that?
In our world now, increasingly connected, information everywhere, easily manipulated, what might we be unknowingly sacrificing for the promise of a perfect or convenient society? Are we, in our chase for ease, accidentally creating our own kinds of grids? And what personal glitches, what forgotten truths might we be overlooking in our own lives? And maybe what would it truly take for us to remember them before it's too late?
That's definitely something to chew on. Keep those thoughts with you. And remember the power of a single individual to reclaim a collective past and maybe redefine a future. Thank you for diving deep with us today.